The next day, Victor wanders deep into the heart of the valley, seeking solace in the majesty of the natural world. He finds himself at the source of the Arveyron, where the ice of an ancient glacier creeps slowly down the mountain, as if nature itself moves with a solemn, unshakable purpose. Surrounded by towering cliffs, shattered pines, and the glistening wall of the glacier, he feels dwarfed by the sheer immensity of the scene. Here, silence reigns, interrupted only by the crashing of water, the rumble of distant avalanches, or the sharp crack of shifting ice. This wilderness, vast and sublime, offers Victor a rare kind of peace. Though his grief remains, it is tempered, his sorrow subdued by the sublime indifference of the mountains. The icy air and solemn grandeur lift his spirit beyond petty human concerns, soothing his restless mind. That night, the mountains and valleys he walked among seemed to follow him into sleep, their shapes and shadows standing sentinel in his dreams. But peace is fleeting. Morning brings rain and mist, and the world he had communed with just hours before disappears behind veils of cloud. Yet even the storm cannot deter him. Mounting a mule, Victor sets out alone to ascend Montanvert. He remembers the awe he once felt standing before the glacier, a feeling so intense it had once lifted him above his earthly cares. He hopes now to reclaim that same elevation of spirit. Determined to go without a guide, longing for solitude, he begins his ascent through winding paths, across snow-filled ravines and over fallen trees shattered by past avalanches. The climb is perilous. Loose stones tumble down with every step. The pines that line the way are somber and stunted, adding to the wild and forbidding beauty of the place. As Victor reaches higher ground, thick mists curl around the mountains and rain falls steadily, deepening the melancholy that grips him. He reflects bitterly on the burden of human emotion, questioning whether the heightened sensitivity of man is truly a gift or a curse that only deepens our suffering. By noon, he reaches the summit. Before him lies a vast field of ice, a sea frozen in motion, ridged and broken, carved into jagged waves by time and elemental force. As the wind clears the mist, Victor descends onto the glacier, crossing it alone. The landscape is otherworldly, glittering peaks, deep crevices, and the silent presence of Mont Blanc towering in the distance. Amid this overwhelming spectacle of nature, Victor feels a momentary lift in his heart. He calls out to the wandering spirits of the dead, begging for either peace or to be taken from the world entirely. And then he sees it. A figure appears on the ice, advancing with unnatural speed, leaping effortlessly over the dangerous chasms Victor had navigated with care. As it draws closer, Victor recognizes him. The being, the one he brought to life, the wretch. Horror and rage surge through him. He is ready to fight, to destroy the monster he once created. But the creature speaks, not with violence, but with sorrow. He pleads for Victor to listen. Hated by all mankind, he claims misery has twisted him into what he has become. He reminds Victor of the bond they share, creator and creation, bound until death. He offers a bargain. If Victor will hear his story and show him compassion, he will leave mankind in peace. But if he is rejected again, he promises vengeance, swift and merciless. Victor, overcome by fury, lashes out with bitter words, calling the creature a devil, a fiend, a murderer. But the creature does not retaliate. Instead, he speaks with a mix of dignity and despair, invoking his right, like any accused, to be heard before being condemned. He pleads for justice, for empathy. He asks only that Victor listen to his tale before deciding his fate. Reluctantly, Victor agrees. Curiosity, compassion, and a sense of duty stir within him. For the first time, he feels the weight of his responsibility, not just for the creature's existence, but for its suffering. Together, they cross the ice and ascend to a secluded hut high in the mountains. There, beside a fire kindled by the very hands that once horrified him, Victor prepares to listen at last. The creature begins to speak, and so begins the untold story of the one cast into darkness, yet born from man's highest ambition.